Welcome to another presentation in the DNA Upgrades and the Light Body Activation Summit Series. Today we are with Dr. Edwige. She is an Ascension way shower, and she is well on the path of her own ascension. We're going to see all about this light activity in the human form as we talk about awakening the light within. Dr. Edwige, thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Absolutely, Lauren. It's always a delight to spend time with you. So thank you for having me back.
Yes, this is very interesting because as some know, those who know you, you share your ascension journey so openly, and it is all about the light. We've got some beautiful pictures that we're going to show, but I want to have you start first with the journey of the light body and how it's related to the DNA. Can you give us an overview of what's happening there?
You know, there's so many different things that are happening. Your DNA is encoded. Obviously, you know, there's more than 2 strands. And so this process is an ongoing process to truly awaken all of these different aspects of you, within you, for you, right? And so it's a single man, woman's journey to do the process of awakening bit by bit all of these different things. And as these things, for example, the chakras balancing, the hypothalamus balancing, your hormones balancing, all of these things relate with the DNA, relate with the body, relate with the light turning on and being able to receive more light. So it is a conglomeration, a unification of all parts of you coming together as one, and then holding the light. I have been documenting for the last 3 years, maybe 4 years, this process of transfiguration, this process of moving through the stages. And so that's what I'm going to share today, what these stages look like. And literally, the sun is our friend. The more that, and everyone's heard about sun gazing. And so the more that you do your work, and your work is, yes, meditation, your work is, yes, letting go of your limiting beliefs and old programs, the ideas of separation, the ideas that you were cast away from a heavenly realm and have to work your way back. All of those falsities you have to let go of, and you have to truly begin to tap into the truth of who you are as a divine being here, having experiences to become a master. And as you begin to think in that way, then you're going to see that it's easier to let go. I always like to call it you have luggage, and within your luggage is you're carrying all of that baggage. And all of that baggage you have to let go. And the more you let go of the baggage, then your luggage gets lighter. And as the luggage gets lighter, it begins to fill with light, and fills with light, and fills with light. And that light begins to take you towards enlightenment. And that's really what this process is all about. So in these past 3-4 years, as I've gone into these transmissions, and you know that I have, in previous interviews, we've talked about my actually ascension process and so on, and receiving that divine part of me. So all of that already happening. Now we're in another stage, and this stage is truly the transfiguration stage. And so as I began doing my sun gazing and just tapping in and going into I would say an altered state, but very conscious and very aware, just surrendering, letting go of every last bit of the baggage, and truly having that luggage become completely filled with light. Because to get your light body, you have to be about 90-95% light. And so that in and of itself is a task, because your physical body is beginning to change. And this is what you're beginning to see here. The physical body is taking on more light. And you see the light coming in, because when you say yes, your team responds. And so literally, we have probably 15,000 pictures and videos, and you can see, you know, ships coming in and different things coming in my family of light coming in to assist in this process. And truly, it is a group effort. The village is your family of light. That's your village, your family of light that you have to begin to call on and ask for assistance in this process. And so as we look at this picture, literally, you see the light coming down. Well, that's the ceiling of my home. So where would the light be coming from and through? And so it's not that it's coming from outside, it's coming from inside, going up. And so this is what it looks like. When we talk about there are pillars of light around the planet, those pillars holding the space of light, right? Anchoring the light. This is anchoring the light. We are here to become those pillars, to anchor that light here. And as those are the, if you don't talk about the different waves, those who have gone through these processes earlier are now pillars of light, anchoring this light as beacons so that that energy of love, that energy of enlightenment gets planted and anchored onto this planet and can go out and then to assist all those in that vicinity of that pillar of light. And so that's what you're seeing here, me literally being the pillar of light. It's pretty amazing. And again, it has to do with the letting go, the surrender, and then beginning to actively seek that you turn on, that you activate these parts within you. You know, so it's fascinating. We know that there's mastery of the physical, mastery of the mental, and mastery of the emotional bodies. However, when you get to a certain level of mastery of those things at the 3D level, the lower density level, then you have to begin to move to a higher density of it. So when I say that, we know that 1% matter is what makes us physical. Source is so amazing, so powerful that it only took 1% of self to create this. That's pretty amazing. But that 1% has different layers to it. That 1% has different densities to it. And so we have the lower densities, which is what we've been feeling and expressing out in this underworld, if you will. Lack, fear, guilt, shame, pain, doubt, suffering, disease, illness, pain, suffering, poverty, poverty consciousness, regret, sadness, depression, anxiety, you name it, right? We've all named those things. But those are the lower densities of that 1%. So as you lighten up your luggage and it gets filled with more light and you're letting go and transmuting all of those lower energies, now you begin to move into the higher densities of that 1%. You're still in physical, but now you can begin to become the light, because you've moved into the higher densities of that 1% matter that makes you physical. So basically, there's very little, if you will, of those lower densities, and you're beginning to transfigure, you're beginning to become light. And that's the process. You have to let go of the lower densities of the physical, where you begin to truly have an understanding and an overstanding of what it looks like to master the physical. So it's not just, you know, watching your diet and exercise and getting enough sleep. It's really you becoming consciously aware of you 24 hours a day. And we're going to speak more to that when we talk about the mental body, but the physical is to really honor the physical. You know, a lot of times in these processes, all of a sudden we'll find ourselves really tired. And I mean, to the point of you can't open your eyes. You feel like something is pulling you out and you have to go lay down. And as soon as you lay down, you're gone, right? Because you're going into the void, you're going into that 0 point, you're going into that space where your team, your family of light can begin to work with you, work on you to transfigure the body. And so in the physical mastery at the higher densities, we have to really truly tap into that and then begin to honor the process of what your physical body needs in this higher density of mastery of the physical, because the physical is what's going to house everything. And so you have to listen to it. What is it telling you? If there's an imbalance, that imbalance, you have to deal with it before it manifests to something that you don't desire, because you're still, you're teetering between the lower densities and the higher densities for a long time until you can truly transmute and let go and surrender all of the lower densities, you're going to find yourself teetering. And we're actually entering into the second phase. So those who don't have this body of light yet, you're moving into the window right here, right now. There's a window opening right around 11:11, where you will have the opportunity to begin to let go completely of those lower densities and begin to operate from the higher densities of that 1%. So this is showing, in fact, what it looks like to become that pillar of light, to anchor that light. And literally, if I could have sent you videos, I would have sent you videos, because you can see when my hands move, you can see light flicking off my fingertips. You can see light hitting me and moving all around. It's phenomenal. And actually, this is a still shot of that, where I'm moving and the light is moving back and forth within my hands like a wall of light. As I move out, you see the light. And so truly, you become like light. And so you have to, now let's move to the mental aspects of this purification stage. So you have these lower vibrational thoughts, these lower negative thoughts, if you will, from the lower world, underworld. And that makes sense that these are low. Yeah, we'll get to that, to the lower world. But as you are letting go, as you're releasing your baggage, as you're releasing the old programs, as you're letting go, and your luggage is getting lighter and lighter and lighter, now you begin to think from the higher densities of that 1%. And what does that thinking look like? And you begin to master your words, and you choose words wisely, for you know that the word is the will. Again, I wish I could have sent you a picture. I have a live picture, Lauren, where I'm speaking in light language, and you see a white blinking light at my throat. Blink, blink, blink with every tone I utter. You see this blinking light. It's amazing, but I'm documenting this, and eventually I'll share all of these. It's just amazing to see. But again, understanding from a higher potentiality that the word is the will. And so as you release, as you surrender everything that you think you know, let it go and surrender, and then begin to tap into that space that when you speak, it's a truth that's coming. It's coming from that place of knowing. It's not coming from that 3D mental plane any longer, because that mental plane is a construct of 3D in the lower densities. And to jump over that, you got to get rid of all of those lower thinking negative thoughts. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not smart enough. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, that's too good for me. Oh, I'm not worthy of. What is all of that? You have to let it go. I am divine. I am love. I am joy. I am peace. I am whole. I am harmony. And I am divine. And I surrender to the divinity within, to be the divine director of all that I think, say, and do. And when you can get to that space and begin to operate from there, oh my goodness, your world opens up, because the knowing is so ever present that you begin to speak from this place of knowing. And for me, it's fascinating, because I can actually tell when I'm speaking from Edwige and when I'm speaking from this divine mother. It is a total shift in vibration, and I can feel that vibration come forward and begin to transmute and transmit these beautiful expressions of love and of truth. And so, wow, it's amazing. And now when we think about that, we have to then deal with the emotional body, right? And don't think that these things are happening in a linear time, because they are not. I'm speaking to them in that way, but trust me, yeah, we can say the first initiation is mastery of the physical, the second is mastery of the mental. However, all of these things are going on simultaneously, because you are not linear. Everything about you is happening to you in the here and now moment. So every thought that you ever have, every emotion that you ever have, all of that is with you in this here and now moment. And so as we deal with that, we look at this emotional body that's then holding the emotions of everything that you've ever felt if you've had many lifetimes. Think about that. And so as we let go of the lower densities of the emotional body, I can let go of fear. Whew, that feels good. I can let go of shame and anger and jealousy and judgment. Those are all emotions that keep you from being you. Those emotions hold you back. Those emotions are what fill in the suitcase, the luggage, the baggage, right? And when you can begin to see yourself from emotional state that grace, and more grace. And yes, through the power and the divinity of grace, grace can assist me in having more love for me. Grace can assist me in not judging myself, because truly, when you're judging others, it's simply because you're judging yourself. And we're mirroring each other, right? That's what's going on. When you're jealous of others, so all of these things that you push upon the outside are really the micro and macro. So all of that is going on within. And that's what you have to let go, transform, transmute, to transfigure. And so in the higher densities of the emotions, wow, you go into this beautiful space, and this space is connected one with the source. And I live and breathe and have my being within the one, and the one is within. And look at my face in this picture. Look at the peace. Look at the peace and the surrender and the calm and the love. And it just vibrates and resonates. And that's the emotions that you're going to have. You can look in this world and see that, yes, you might be in this world, but you're not of it, that you are moving in an orderly direction, taking you to the higher realms of, if you call it heaven, or to the east, but you're moving to the place of this ascended state in this golden age, the fifth, the sixth, and beyond in dimensions. When we speak about dimensions, because the fifth dimension is just a landing strip for us to get there. And then from there, you're going to really begin to operate from a place of centeredness, from a place of the detached observer, from a place of balance and wholeness. You still will be in a physical vessel. That's why it's so important that we do the mastery, right, in the physical, mental, and emotional, because all of that is going with you. But it can't in the lower densities, from the lower densities. So you have to begin to let go, surrender, do the work to expand, to turn on that DNA, all of those dormant strands. It's all a part of the process. Not one can happen without the other. So you can't turn on your light body without activating your DNA. You can't activate your DNA without balancing the hormonal system within your body. You can't. So it all goes together. Okay. And so then those emotions of love and peace and gratitude. And then those emotions say to you, you know what? No one is broken. I'm not here to fix you. It's an inside job. But I can love and support and be that beacon of light and show you, hey, this is what it's like to be a pillar of light. So it's a beautiful process. And that's just sharing a little bit of what it all looks like, because again, there's so many different aspects of it, you know, the Kundalini activation, the Merkaba activation. And quite honestly, those listening all have certain levels of their light body, because the earlier stages of the light body, you have the blue body and you have the violet bodies, and these are all about purification and transmutation. So those bodies assist you in this process. And so wherever you are, if you begin to tap into that, even in your meditations, tap into, oh, the purification stage, that's activating this blue light body. You have to get the core, you have to get the foundation, because we have to build on solid ground. And your vessel is the ground, your vessel is the foundation. And so if you are wanting your light body and to ascend as in your body, then these are the processes and the steps that you follow, right? Now, those who are transitioning out, and it's a wonderful thing because that trap has ended, you know, that trap of the reincarnation wheel. So there are many who are in a high enough vibration and frequency for ascension. However, their physical vessel wasn't strong enough. And so they transition out and they'll go from that side. But those of us who are here, who have the opportunity to do it in the physical, congratulations, we made it. We made it. So it's a beautiful thing. Now it's begin to see yourself from that perspective, to see yourself from the higher densities, that I am love, I am peace, I am joy, I am harmony, I am divine. You know, in one of my meditations, one of the ladies after the meditation, she said, Mother, I can actually feel my divinity within me for the first time. This woman's probably 72. And for someone to say that they can finally feel the divinity within themselves, well, what a gift that is. And that's who we are. As long as you are still in a physical vessel and you have the desire, the willpower of the Most High within you to work through you, and you call on your team, your family of light to assist. I tell you, Lauren, you should see, one of these days I just have to sit and show you pictures. It's amazing. You can see them come in to my room and manifest right there, a body of light in front of me. It's
Wow.
just remarkable. The ascended masters that have come in and stood next to me. I mean, Mother Mary, Rosemary, standing right there next to me. So many ascended masters. And so this, dear ones, is so real. And this is who we are. You are star seeds, you are way showers, you are the volunteers, you are the light workers. And we are here to support each other, to support the humans, the colors, the sound, the tone of creation are the humans. You know, it's interesting in the transmissions that I do, they showed me how everyone says Human, right? But it's actually Hue, because in the 7 realms of heaven and the heavenly realms, all of these realms have these tones, these vibrations, these colors. And I watched when we were in July and we had those 3777 windows, I, in my transmissions, could see the rays coming in from the levels of the heavens coming in. And so we are the hues, we are the colors. So each of us represents a hue of creation. We have a particular tone, vibration, frequency within us that represents the whole, the one. The one is a conglomeration of all. And we are a representation of that. That's truly who we are. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, so lovely. Well, this is where we're going, and it is where people are now given guidance and a roadmap to what is ahead.
Absolutely.
And so surrendering it then, do you want to do an activation or a transmission?
Oh, absolutely. We will. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it will build and build, and then it will just begin. So I don't know when. You know, again, when we operate from that realm, there's just a knowing, and it will just manifest in its right and perfect time. Confirmation. All we have to do is let go. We don't have to have any expectations. Just surrender, be in the flow, because the flow is in control. And so as we look at this picture, you know, a lot of times, if you're wearing white, they'll think, oh, it's just a reflection. Well, there you go. Now you see, look at the colors, because all of the hues, all of the energies coming in. again, it's just fascinating to observe, but that was when I was beginning to absorb more and more light. And literally there would be pictures, we could see ships coming inside, but standing behind me of light, moving from my back in, and the windows are in front of me. So it's just fascinating, again, this process to see how one can truly absorb the light. And that's what the process is. And so if you aren't sun gazing, if you're not just sitting near a window and getting some light in daily, I would advise you, I would implore that you begin to absorb the light. The light is your friend. The sun is your friend. You know, Yeshua, it's so very fascinating. We won't really get into religion here today. We don't have nearly enough time. But this I will share with you. His message was, he is the way through the sun. S-U-N. It is the sun and its directions that are represented by the cross. I'm going to leave it at that. Tap into the sun. All right, we can move on to the next picture. Truly tap into the sun. Well, there you have it. If we say absorbing the light, and again, where is the light coming from? The light's coming from within. As within, so without. And so it is just a process of absorbing more and more and more light. And yes, for me, at one time I was, well, sun gazing almost every other day, if not a few minutes every day. But 3 times a week, I would literally for about an hour and a half, do a transmission. And for you, not knowing what that transmission is, because I go into light language and so forth, but even if you were to sit near the sun and meditate for, yes, about an hour, not directly in, just near enough light that it will know that you are there and feel your presence, and you begin to communicate with it and let that energy start to find you. Literally, it will find you. There are pictures where I was about to go into a transmission and I stopped for a second to go get water or to go do something. And the energies came in and spun me around, literally. And you could see it turning me. It was fascinating. And so truly, it's about your communication. You know, we're part of the universe. And so begin to expand and to operate from that place of knowing. Stop playing little and realize that you are light. You just have to begin to absorb that in your physical vessel so that it can then begin to activate the divine parts of you. So we can move on because that really is just me absorbing more light. Well, this is, well, that's a dear friend, Greg. He's a beautiful healer. And Spirit literally has assigned an inner circle, if you will, for me, for the work I do, because a lot of times in the transmissions, I go out, literally leave my body, as you see, my etheric body leaving, right? Expanding. So as we heal the physical, heal the mental, heal the emotional, heal the astral levels of yourself, now you begin to work from an etheric level. That's that bridge, right? And that's what you're witnessing there. Look at that. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. And so absorbing light, then you begin to transform. And now you're operating truly from a higher density of you. You begin to operate from your divinity. It's real, it happens. And that's what it looks like. And so just sitting there, just in a beautiful space. And sometimes I'm just sitting, sometimes I'm in light language, sometimes something is coming in for humanity, sometimes something's coming in from Mother Earth, and I'll bring in those codes and those activations and just sit and receive. So this was a part of a lot of times they'll come and get me and take me. and that's what you're witnessing as that etheric body is beginning to move. It's fascinating in that movement because I can see them coming. I can see beings, I can see the ship, I can see different things coming, and before I know it, I'm gone. His job is to help bring me back. Because, yeah, because sometimes it's so fast that I feel like I'm about to pass out. And again, not to put fear into anything, because there is no fear when you surrender and you know that you're divine and it's all purposeful and you're here to serve, you're part of the mission. And when you realize that, because why are you here? Why are you here? Why do you want to return to your body of light? Just because it sounds like fun, it sounds like a cool thing to do? Absolutely not, because it's a part of your mission, who you are as that star seed, that way shower, that light worker, who you are, so that you can go back and say, look, we actually did this. We ascended in a physical vessel. Has that been done before? You see? And then all that you have mastered, all that you have learned, how to let go of the baggage, because you came into this 3D world and you learned all these things, and now you get to go back and you get to show and teach. This is what I learned on Mother Earth. What a beautiful thing. And so take it in, change your point of reference, change how you see this. The world isn't evil and doing these awful things to you. It's just growing pains, you see. And we're observing those growing pains, and we're observing ourselves observing those growing pains. Because you, the incorruptible you, your spirit, your soul, the higher part of you on the other side of that veil, observing you, how you react or respond to the stimuli that is presented to you. And that's something that's really important to get, that again, you are in the world, but not of it. And that you need to begin to act from a place of the disconnect from an uneven temper. That's a phrase that they gave me back in 2014. Disconnect from an uneven temper. Because nothing is supposed to take you outside the space of your heart. So yes, you could have an observation, and yes, you might even have an opinion about that observation that you're having, but don't get stuck in it. Don't let it pull you back into the lower densities of your emotions. Certainly don't let it pull you back into the lower densities of the mental body, because from there, you cannot attain this. And so anything that takes you into that judgment, takes you into all of those lower densities, you're too dense. And if you're too dense, you can't hold light. Remember, my first thing was, you have this luggage is holding your baggage. You got to let go of it. That's the reality of this process. And so to have DNA activated, oh my goodness, you got to let go. It's not just enough to go sit and meditate. It's not just enough to go and say, oh, I'm doing the work. But do you know what the work is? Do you really? Letting go of those lower densities of those physical, mental, emotional. Beginning to see yourself from a different point of view. Beginning to tap into the sun and truly allowing the sun, S-U-N, that Yeshua showed, he told us about, to allow that sun, for he is the way through the sun. Allow yourselves to really begin to change your thought process. So there you have it, and you even see all around my fingers, all around my hands, you see the etheric body. There are some that it's massive. It's just remarkable, but I really, picked certain ones that can just show you the basics of what the process looks like. Because some of them, it's remarkable. I even, again, have videos where we've slowed it down and you can see me bit by bit leaving, and you can see me coming back into my body. It's fascinating. It's just remarkable to know that this is real and true, and that each of us has an opportunity to make this move. But we have to change our mindset. We have to change our point of reference, and we have to let go and get inside that tiny chamber of your heart and live and breathe and have your space in your heart, where your heart can only create that which is for its best and highest good. and the good of all. And that's the key, the good of all, no longer selfish, but selfless. And that's extremely important. We must become selfless. All righty, let's move on to the next picture. Whoa, and yeah, I think it explains itself. This is my rainbow light body. You see all the colors around it, emanating from it, radiating from it. And actually, Greg is in my reflection. That is what's making him light, the reflection.
Wow.
Yes, it's remarkable. And if you look, my hand, and actually my hand and my feet, one hand is out and my feet are out. And the only reason why they're not the light, because then I could no longer be here. Something has to anchor me here. So I have all of that light, just few fingers out, and both of my feet were out. Just enough to keep me here. So that's why I say when I feel myself leaving, I need help sometimes coming back in because I'm moving so quickly, because I am about 99% light.
And so what does Greg do? Does he just tap your shoulder or talk to you to help
Well,
you?
yeah, well, and two, and there's others in the circles. He just happens to be the one in the picture. Obviously, he's not the one taking this picture. And so they each have a particular gift. He can see, so he can see me going.
Mm.
And so he's like, okay, you're doing this. Sometimes, I mean, I have a knowing, but he can see a lot of it. And he will just say, okay, you can anchor back. They will sometimes put a silver lasso around me and pull me back.
Uh-huh.
Literally, well, not literally, but energetically. Sometimes they'll just talk to me and bring me back. There was a time when he and I, oh my gosh, it took like 40 minutes to bring me back. He said, why are you meandering around? He's like, just come back. Because, and I can feel it. I can feel that I'm so light, like that I'm walking on clouds, and I can actually feel it. And I know what I'm doing, what I'm pulled out to do. And sometimes that I get so far that again, they'll just anchor me back. They'll put a lasso around and pull me back in, or talk to me, or just sit and wait until I'm ready to come back. And that might, sometimes we sit there for an hour. It just takes how long it takes for me to come back. And he's just holding that space.
Mm.
It's remarkable. So this is a good place. Woo! Yes, it is. Let's focus on the light, shall we? Kayami mohukuakoa. Excuse me. So let's just get comfortable and close our eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. In again, in feel yourself expanding. Feel yourself getting better. Feel yourself letting go and surrendering. Using your inner vision, your imagination. See yourself moving into that tight, confining space up in your head. And as you move into that space, just observe. Observe your thoughts. and determine which thoughts seem to be heaviest. And let's let go of the heaviest of the thoughts, the densest of those thoughts. Those that have a grip. What fears do you have? Any doubts or pains? Any discomfort or dis-ease? Any limiting program telling you that you aren't good enough and that you can't get this? Let it go. Breathe it in and release. Letting go. Uncreated, to never be recreated. Niamokuka sayashe na kotakichikaya no kutanina. Ekia sosa yashatai no kotokichikaya no kupalia no kotashaya. Ekia tokichikaya no kotashe na kotaspia no koshikatai no kotakai shitre. Ayama hochikaya no kotakachera no kotakichikaya no kotaiche nana. Ay makotakichikaya no koshikatea shokotai na kupusaya shite. Ay nana shikataya shikotokichikaya no kusubeche kayando hishite kayano hashite kanyukotache. Ay, makufosa, ikishite, nakoshiketai, nakupusayama she, ayanakutushay, she, anuhashe, nakoa. Ayanokoshe, makoshiketai, nakoshikete, nikipokashiketai, nakoshikete, makoshiketikay, nakoshikete, makusoa. Mimohote, chikay, nokote, chisay, nakotache, jaro, umiya. And as you let go, feel those spaces being filled with golden white light of illumination. That light that has been waiting to move in. Allow it invited in. Ayama makushe ashemi ang nukishikatay nukushikatay nakashikate adote. Kasabechi prototai ayashe tiaro kuya propo ashikatay kupakia shena kupisa. Yashekati yasheni ti anukushikatay nukupasai ayamukupashena kaya nukushikatay nukupasakashikatay. Eki nukutakichikay nukushikatay nukupukatay chikatukichikatay nukupasa. Ayano ki asheni muko po ayatiyanuha. And feel that beautiful golden illumination filling all of the spaces. Maria, no kutukichikaya no kupakia, ikiyashe makupasakichikaya no kutaiya, akutakichikaya no kuposa. Eki no kutashe, mikashikato, yashikaya no kate, chikaya no katache, makusasa. Beautiful. Now let's move behind your eyes to that beautiful third eye. And from this perspective, as you look out, you see how your 3D eyes are closed. Indeed, for they are limited in their ability to see. But perceive what is believed, what is illuminated, what is divine. And so see yourself standing on a golden path. This is your path. This is your destiny. Stand upon the illuminated path. And as you do, see any of your perceived obstacles being lifted, being swiped away. Kanami po kayash today. Kanami mohupo bosh kaskayara in Kutayashi. Etiaro Kasahochipaya Kichikaya Mohatechi Sayam. Kayat Sheadoche Ashea Doki Ashamim. Ekiasosa Yashem Makutashe Makutashe. Ayayami mo po sayami ukiyashano kiati. Ai ano kishe mi mama ni sosa ishe nana iki atote kasami mahoshe mama yakutokeche nanana. Ai hayato shikaya no kunte chisayama yabakotachi kaya no hishe mama yakusa. Take a step if you will in the beautiful illuminated. And on this beautiful path, see your higher self. See your higher self standing there waiting to guide you more fully, to be ever present. Niemu pupo kiashkia tutayemia na salia, ishikatakota jena, ishikoto chia tote, iki na kushkia tiashkitai, kushkitai na kukatache sai na kutashana. Ike sokoto jena, ishikaya no kutache, pakosokachikaya no kachikikaya no kutakichikaya no kuposana. Iki yashema popo, yeshema popo, yeshema pokoto gichika no kupopona. Feel yourself expanding. Yati shetiaro kukua, yakumia shema kua. Etiaro kutia nukutena, yakokotokia kutia nosa. Ayamatena ikidia yomia sukia shena, nania toya shema, yakia toya shema, ikia toa. Ayaya mimute, ayanuheha. Mama yakotekia yanuheha. Yeshea nonuade, ayanukeshema, ikia toa. Ani amonia te ai okati anua ia peoto. Ai ane hate ai hana hi hano he shema ko ia anuha. Ai ya mama mia tu hi ha tu he ha te la no he shete. Feel yourself as you become one with your higher self, allowing this divine aspect of you to be more upfront, to be the director of all that you think, say, and do. To be that inner guidance, that still small voice. Let go of that meddling mind and allow more of your still small voice to come forward. Adia poco sai, ashite katashkadai, no kushikatai, no kabai, nahache, no nana. Let's continue our journey. Begin to heal, feel, sense your heart. Get closer. Continue all the way up. Will you see this tiny opening? This opening is a vortex of giants. Become one with your heartbeat. Kasami mohopona ni Hashem makotache sayami mohoponoa. Kiaso yashe mi mohashe mi mokianana kiaspan kiabaska yashekayam. Feel the love that the source, that the one has. Beautiful kia sloviti, prakatacha, to patarishi, the Kayano Brupasa, the Kayano Brushkata, the Kiatori Ashkata, the Brushkata, the Fushkata, the Brushkata, the Fushkata, the Korea Pum, Casabria Tuccia, the Chikayonuria, Chikayano Brushkata, the Fushkata, the Fushkata, the Fushkata. Ah, the ones allow yourselves to move up to the 22nd chamber of the heart. Feel yourself lifting, move to the left. Become one with the sacred space. Become one with your purity of the heart. Become one with your divinity. Allow the sun to warm the sacred space of your heart. Ya Hashem, Makutoche, está aqui, Hashem, Makutoche. Ah, minha açaí, caiu no chicotate. Minha mucoco, acho que está ali, Hashem, mucocoche, Hashem, caiu no cotache. Cadê a tira, cucocoche, a questão. Dear ones, in this beautiful sacred space of your hearts. Getting ready to receive. Are you letting go of all the lower densities? Allow more of your light to activate. Ayano Pashikaina, Harikasabiti, Pakayano Pashikayano Patotechi, Kayano Pachirai, Anukashe, Kusani. Ah, now allow that beautiful sacred space of your heart to expand. Matoche, Kanimaroki, Sai, Hane, Hai, Hanu, He, Hanai, Hanua. Ah, Yakishetearo, Pupuna, Nia, so. Allow that beautiful light to begin to move into every cell, every fiber of your being. As it moves in, it's going to begin to move through purification, a deeper purification at every level of your being, at a cellular level. Kiamonia Musaia, Yakapashirai, Kachikatania, Poposh, Kataina, Chiaro, Pasaya, Ikiatoria, Shkatani, Kaparia, and Kushkataina, Bashkataina, and Linia Supas. Pasapachapatakia, Amy Kutachera, Ikia Sosa, Yakulia, Sobia Shtata. Ah, minha mutua, saí, aí eu não vou cheirar e não cupatachi, saí, aqui na hora que passar. Muito que eu não vou tirar. Allow that beautiful golden energy of the sun to anchor within that tiny sacred chamber of your. It will be your compass for this tiny sacred chamber of your heart when filled with this divine light. Only has one direction in mind, and that is to go to the higher heavenly realms. That is the road to the east. That is to step into the new and divine golden age. Que apropria sair, que toquia chejar, achar, sair. Eki tochi kichi kayu kutana. Kiwa ni bushuku. Osasa. Nanyeni bashikate. Yana bashikate. Yana bashikate. Yana bashikate. Kiamu kia sani ma bashikate. Kayana bashikate. Because society ma bashikate. Yana bashikate. And dear one, as you move into this process, as you are in the sacred space of your heart, you realize that everything is about you honoring your life, your life, your life. For we all have within the you, the colors, the fluids, the frequencies, from the one, from the source of all that is. Ready. Give such gratitude to your higher self for being ever present with you, even when you weren't aware, where you are now ready to say, I am here, I hear you, I'm ready to listen to that still small voice, I'm ready to listen to that guidance, I'm ready to step forward completely. I'm ready to transform. I'm ready to completely surrender that which no longer serves me and to step into my divinity, to activate all of the potentiality of the divinity that is within me, that is laying dormant and is ready to be activated within every cell, activated within my DNA as it comes online. Kia dia shika yuko kuwasaya shite kaya yuko kusaya shite ikino kutachi saya mimo kukuli washira shena kutukichi kaya yuko kusaya. Ya mimo kutechi saya mimo koto ikia tichi kaya yuko tachi yuko ku. Beautiful. Feel that stillness, feel that connectedness. Begin to move back into the awareness of yourself, knowing that we are complete in this endeavor to bring you into the higher states of awareness of you. It's beautiful doing this. Breathe, but with a new breath, a breath of living light, a breath of love, where you are conscious of you, where you are mindful of you, where you are in love with you, where you allow you to be one with the all. Be sure to drink lots of water after this process, this beautiful transmission of love, of light to you this day. Knowing that each of you has received in your way. We are complete. It's so lovely to be in the awareness of these heightened energies. You see, it lifts me right up. Beautiful. How are you feeling?
Oh my goodness, that took me and all of us so deep. And to see the light within, I'm certain I'm not the only one who saw that light within. It was beautiful. It was so peaceful. It is higher self embodiment. That was so precious.
Oh,
And I thought of that gal who said that she felt the divinity within her,
yes.
felt the divinity within us. Really palpable. And we're going to carry this. What an application.
Thank you. Indeed, one of love, one of light. That's why you needed to see the pictures, because you really needed to have a point of reference, right? It's wonderful to discuss it and talk about it and have these grandiose ideas of what we think it may or may not be. But when we can put a picture to it and say, oh, that's what she means to be a pillar of light. Literally, I got it. Now there's a focus for you, right? Now, when I go and I sit and I meditate, I'm going to see that still light within me. Or if I go sit in the sun and communicate with the sun, what? I can actually communicate with the sun? Oh, yes, you can. And call it into you and absorb it. And then you see what happens. You become the light. You activate.
Wow.
To everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your openness to receive, because everyone's at a different place on their path and everyone thinks, well, I've done so much work, but I've done that already, but I've been there already. Well, you wouldn't be on this call if there wasn't something else for you to receive. So just be open and receive it, whatever it looks like for you. It is so divine and perfect. It doesn't matter. We don't have to put names to things. We don't have to put labels on things. We could just be and allow.
And allow. And allow. Be the light. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Edwige.
There's so much.
Again, what a remarkable experience that we will never forget. You have changed us forever. You've activated us.
Absolutely. And that is the goal, right? Why be a pillar of light? Why have the rainbow light body if the least you can do is activate and do the work, my part of the mission, to be here and to serve.
Yes.
It doesn't get any better. Well, maybe it does when I'm all the way over there. but for being here, this is remarkable.
Wow, you have just an extraordinary story, and it is again what makes you such a beautiful way shower guide for all of us. We thank you for this activation today. We thank you for sharing your glorious pictures. And we are very excited for our own journey and our own transformation because of it. We will always be thinking of you and connecting to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Absolutely, Lorraine. Always a delight to be with you. Love seeing you. And anytime, I'm always here for you, for sure.
All right, awesome. I wanted to make a mention of a beautiful video. We're going to play this now as we end and close this beautiful episode. It is a music video that you made, and you can just feel the love and light emanating from you. Tell us a little bit about this music video that you created.
Well, I used to sing for a living, and so that never leaves you. And in this process of this beautiful awakening, all of a sudden, as I'm toning and singing, words just came and this beautiful melody, and I have a few more. And these beautiful melodies just come, and I just, pick up the phone and I start recording it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, where'd this come from? And so I just put it together. I have a friend who has a studio, and I sang it to him. And I'm like, okay, I like this instrument. I like this instrument. Can you put those all together and make it sound like this? And he did. And so I actually got to perform that at a festival in Missouri a while back, which was amazing and fun. And so I'm like, well, now what do I do with it? How do I share it? And the best way to share it is to create a music video around it. And so I did. And literally, the water is life. And so I had to be near water because it truly, the frequencies just move into the water and then go out, right? And so that's what I did. I found a body of water here in the desert of all places. And yeah, literally, and created that video. So I am just honored to be able to share it. And hopefully you like it.
Beautiful. That is a free gift as a download for all attendees of this beautiful summit series. We thank you for that. And I wanted to very quickly just say your special offer, it is available on this page. It is, again, another precious collection of teachings. There's an online healing retreat that we did. There's courses that you've taught, activations that you taught to really assist people in releasing the old, releasing the density, and building this body of light.
There's a whole series of light language transmissions in there for different things. So, I mean, there's a lot. And I do believe I included my book this time. You're Not Crazy, You're Awakening. The journey continues. And that's remarkable. That's a really, it's filled with frequency. It's filled with aha moments. It's an easy read, but it's so powerful. So I've included that in the package this time. So, yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Again, this is Dr. Edwige, and the work he brings to the planet on Ascension and this journey is so exquisite and really a roadmap for all of us. You can see from her photos, the light that she carries. She's here to assist all of us to do the same. Edwige, thank you, thank you, thank you for this beautiful episode today.
Thank you. You're welcome. Take care. Be well. You two all.
Bye-bye.
Matukul ni Asta. Today mikai makuskai matoniha. Tete nokua Asta mushtote. I am the monad, I am the light, I am love, given love, pure, divine.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Visit newearth1.com.